Hi everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Raluca. In today's video I'm going to show you how I did this look, which is like my everyday look when I'm not feeling inspired or I don't have the time to do something else. This usually takes me about 20 to 30 minutes, but they took me a little bit longer than that because I was filming, and I also spent a lot of time on my brows for some reason. And by the way, I did my nails. I had to show you because it's very rare that I do my nails. Before we get started, I want to ask you guys to subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed already. I upload videos every Monday and Friday. It's all makeup content, so if that's something that interests you, then go ahead and press the subscribe button down below. The look is quite simple. If you want to follow along, you can keep on watching. Hi! I already moisturized my face in the morning, but right now I'm going to apply my SPF. This is the Altruist SPF 30 cream. I'm just going to apply a little bit of that on my face. And massaging it in. I'm also applying it on my under eye area. Just like this, so it has some time to absorb before I do my face makeup. I usually do my brows first, but today I'm just... Or am I feeling it? Not sure. Okay, starting with my brows, when I want to be quick with my brows, I usually use the Goof Proof pencil by Benefit because it's quite thick and it fills in very quickly. But I do need like a smaller pencil for the definition. If you're not like me, you might be able to do your brows just using the Goof Proof, but I usually need some definition, especially in the front of the brow, so first I need a spoolie to brush them up, and this is just Brow Wiz by Anastasia. You can use whatever spoolie. Okay, and by the way, in the Goof Proof pencil I'm in the shade 3.5. I think I could have used a lighter shade, but this one is fine as well. I usually concentrate on the tail of my brow, so I'm starting from the middle towards the tail. I don't do a lot of filling in the front, just a little bit. As you can see here, I have a sparse area on this particular brow. This one doesn't have that, so I just fill in a little bit here, just at the base, because I'm going to brush them up and diffuse the product. And the main filling in is going to be at the tail here. I'm going to make it a little bit thicker. Something like this. As you can see, this brow is already a lot more defined and fuller than this one. But I'm going to use the spoolie again to diffuse the product, so it doesn't look this harsh. I like that if I don't have foundation, I can just wipe whatever mistakes that I have. And with the Brow Wiz, I'm going to just draw some hair strokes in the front. This one is in the shade medium brown. They are quite messy at the moment, but I might clean them up, although I don't do that every day. So I'm not going to set them just yet. I'm going to set them after I clean the edges with concealer. Now I'm going to apply my eyeshadow primer so it has time to dry. This one is the Urban Decay Primer Potion. I found that I prefer eyeshadow primers over concealer, especially for the wear time. The shadows wear a little bit better with the primer than with the concealer. I still like concealer for when I'm really in a hurry. Until this dries, I'm going to clean my brows. I'm going to use the Maybelline Instant Anti-Age Eraser in the shade Neutralizer, which is a little bit lighter than my skin tone. So I'm going to use it to also highlight under my brow. And with a flat concealer brush, I'm just cleaning and also framing the brow. I haven't done this in what feels like years. I usually could not care less for my brows, really. And with my finger, I'm just going to blend these edges. Okay, this brings like a little bit of lifting and definition to the brow. I'm going to clean the top of my brow as well because I'm impatient like that. I should have used foundation for this step, but I don't know, I just found myself here with the brush in my hand and I was like, why not? I really have mixed feelings about these brows, but maybe with the whole makeup on they're going to look a little bit better, so I'm just going to use my Benefit 24-hour brow setter. This is the best brow gel in life. I just love this one, especially for the brush, because I use like the long bristles first and then the short bristles, and then I can use the flat side to flatten my brows even more. I'm about to do the eye makeup that I usually do when I'm in a hurry, and the easiest way to do it is using scotch tape. So I'm just going to use that. Okay, so I'm just going to take a little bit of scotch tape. This one is pretty, the glue is not that great, so but if yours is a little bit stickier than mine, you can glue it on your hand and then apply it on your eyes, because you don't want it to be too harsh on your eyelids. So from the corner of my eye towards the tail of my brow, I'm just going to stick this to my lid. You can also do this without scotch tape and then just clean it up with concealer. I'm going to start off the look by applying the Sephora Collection pencil in the shade Tiramisu. This one is just brown, a brown pencil. I just love this one by Sephora Collection because you can like smudge it and blend it out, and it's also very long lasting. From half of my eye towards the corner, I'm just going to apply the pencil. So I'm not going to bring it all the way to the inner corner. And now quickly with a pencil brush, this one is a Morphe M149. I'm going to keep my eyes open and really smudge this pencil, so I can do like a smoky wing liner. I like using this pencil technique when I'm just too lazy to do a wing liner. And it also looks a little bit like softer and not as defined. Now I'm going to use a dark brown eyeshadow to set this in place, and I think today I'm going to use my Soft Glam palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. And I'm going to take the shade Cyprus Umber on the same brush. This one is a dark brown. And I'm going to go over this pencil. And now with a small blending brush, this one is a Morphe M506 brush, I'm going to take the shade Rustic, dust off a little bit of the excess, and apply it above the liner to fade it a little bit more. And in my outer corner, I'm going to create like a V shape, so kind of bringing this in my crease as well, in my outer corner. I think I'm going to keep things pretty matte today, so I'm going to take the shade Tempera. This one is a Juvia's Place 005 small buffer brush. It's not really small, but that's the name. And I'm applying this from the inner portion up to the middle of my eye, but I'm going to dust off the excess and really try to fade this into the other colors. And now with that Morphe brush, I'm going to really fade this transition. And with a clean blending brush, this one is a Sigma E25 brush, I'm going to go over the crease to really fade the colors into my skin. Okay, now I can remove the tape. Okay, as you can see, I ended up with a very sharp liner. Moving on to my face, let's see what foundation should I use today. My skin is looking pretty clear, so I don't need much coverage. I'm going to use the Reboot foundation by Makeup Forever. Mine is in the shade Y 3.5. I could use a lighter shade, but this is just the one that I have. I consider that my skin is primed since I applied moisturizer, so I'm not going to apply any other primers. So I'm just going to dot the foundation on my face. My sponge is not damp. Okay, so I'm going to use a brush. This is the Juvia's Place 004 Precision Concealer brush. Although this one is clearly a foundation brush, but okay. And from the center of my face, I'm just going to drag it towards the sides. This foundation has a little bit more coverage with the brush. But I'm going to top it off with a sponge anyways, because I don't like how this looks. This shade is a little bit too dark for me. I'm going to add probably a lot of concealer to balance my skin tone, let's say. Hold on a second, I'm going to wet my sponge. Okay, now with the sponge I'm going to go over the foundation to pick up a little bit of that excess, because I feel like this is a little bit too much. Yep, this looks a little better and more blended. Get into that hairline. Moving on to concealer, again I'm going to use the Maybelline Neutralizer Instant Anti-Age Eraser. The shade is called Neutralizer, just to be clear. And I'm going to apply a little bit on my under eyes, mainly concentrating in the inner portion. And I'm also going to highlight the center of my face, because I want to kind of lighten up this foundation a little bit. Okay. And again with my sponge, I'm blending the concealer in. Using the sponge is more convenient and quicker because you can use it for foundation, concealer. I used to use the sponge even for setting the face, more for setting the under eyes, but you can set the face as well. It just applies a little bit more product, so if you have dry skin, I wouldn't suggest you use the sponge for setting the face. Yeah, that foundation is not really my perfect shade, but I can work it out. Now I'm going to set this in place, and as usual I'm going to use my RCMA No Color powder, and for my under eyes, as usual, I'm going to use blending brush. This one is a Morphe M330 brush. Oh, it's creased. Blending in the creases and immediately setting this with a little bit of powder. I'm going to set the rest of my face as well. I'm just going to switch to a larger brush. Dust off the excess and tap the powder all over my face. I think I'm also going to apply a little bit on my brows. Maybe I can lighten them up a little bit. I don't know, I'm just not used to my brows being this defined. For bronzer today I'm going to use the NYX 3 Steps to Sculpt palette, because I used it in my last glass skin tutorial and I really love how it looked. So yeah, I'm just going to use it again. This is a Morphe M405 brush. And just in circling motions, I'm going to bronze up my skin. So this is not really contouring. That's why I'm not being precise with it. And it's also not a shade suitable for contouring. It's kind of orangey. So it's just for warming up the skin. And it's also shimmery, so you can't really contour with a light reflecting powder. Now I'm going to use my Clarins bronzer in the shade 02 Cheeky Pink. I would have used my Makeup Forever, but no one knows where that is. I'm just not in the mood to look for it right now. So I'm just going to go with the Clarins one. And applying a little bit of blush. I'm applying it like above the bronzer that I just applied. I'm not bringing it all the way to the center of my face, so I'm trying to avoid this area here. Also on the tip of my nose, because I like how that looks. When I'm wearing this Clarins blush, everybody asks me what I'm wearing. It's kind of cute, and it's like that natural flash of color. Next I'm going to highlight using my Maybelline Masterchrome highlighter, and I'm using a fan brush, apparently. Today is weird. This one is in the shade Molten Rose Gold, and as you can see, I'm very in love with it, and I'm also proud of this baby pen right here. The brush is by NYX, by the way. It's the... if you can read this, I think it's from the Born to Glow collection, I'm not sure though. So I'm applying it on my cheekbones, a little bit on my forehead, the bridge of my nose, the tip of my nose as well, Cupid's bow, chin, and my other side. Now that the face is done, I can set it in place using my MAC Fix Plus. This might be one of my favorite steps. Oh, I somehow forgot to highlight my inner corner. So I'm taking my highlighter again and adding it in my inner corners, and also I'm going to highlight my brow bone. And I feel like this little step makes a lot of difference in the end result. I don't know, at least I can see the difference. Because I was looking in my mirror and I was like, oh damn, that inner corner highlighter, I forgot about it. I'm taking my pencil brush again and just smudging whatever is left on that, on my lower lash line. I don't want my lower lash line to be too dark, but I need some definition there as well. So I'm just smudging it on my outer portion. And now with the Morphe brush, I'm going to again smudge it along my lash line. I didn't add any additional product on these brushes, so it's just whatever is left from doing the upper lid. Okay, I'm going to curl my lashes and apply a little bit of mascara to finish off the eyes. This makeup took a little bit longer than I expected. And I'm applying my Lash Brag mascara by Anastasia Beverly Hills. Why can't I never apply mascara without smudging it on my lids? I'm going to do my lips as well, although I'm wearing a mask, so yeah. I just want to feel like normal, let's say. I'm going to apply the NYX matte lip liner in the shade Toulouse. This one is a pink nude lip liner. And as you can see, I'm usually overlining, but just in the center of my lips. In the center of my lips I'm going to apply the Sephora Collection Rouge Matte, the matte lipstick in the shade 02. This is a light pink nude. And now to remove the mascara blob, I'm just going to take a spoolie and they are going to brush right off. And this is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed watching this transformation, let's say. This is kind of like my everyday makeup when I'm not feeling very inspired to do something else. I like that it defines my eye, it extends them a little bit. If you reached this point, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to see you on Monday for a new video. Bye!